What's up, YouTube? Back once again, and this time I'm here to talk about a little bit of these games that happened the other night. You had Sacramento versus the Warriors, and we're going to a game seven, baby. Yes, uh, they came out and pretty much just never really let the Warriors off the hook. I was like, don't get me wrong. I was like, the Warriors, they kept battling and they always put on front. They were going back and forth. Curry cannot be stopped at all this series, no matter who they really have put on him between Mitchell. This game they tried Terrence Davis on him, and it doesn't matter. I mean, the whole point is not really to stop him. You're not going to really stop any great player. The whole thing is to just wear them down enough to where it makes it difficult on their, for the offensive side. Maybe tire them out. That doesn't happen. I was like, Curry, this dude doesn't have a bad game at all. Pretty much, he's been like the main consistent threat during this whole time. Clay was all right. Clay was pretty good. I was like, I don't really, unless somebody playing like bad, I don't really try to say that they are playing like awful or nothing like that. I was like, I always just say like good because it's like it could just range from like in here. Um, but the Kings really just didn't take their foot off of them. I thought the real bigger thing I was like because while Sabonis he's been struggling a lot in this series, and even though I thought like Alex Len been giving them good minutes, I was like they sort of changed up how they've been playing by having Trey Lyles and matching the Warriors small ball with their own small ball, and they also played Terrence Davis a lot more in this game, which considering how Herter's been playing this series, I feel like was sort of like a good thing that they did a little maybe like a little too late. I mean, they still able to push it to a game seven, so it's not like it's like I guess that late, but because they you were giving Herter a chance to still find himself, but he wasn't really clicking. So that move, that switch, I think was really good. Terrence David did a good job of also just not only like I was like he had a couple threes, but attacking the basket, which I feel like that's what they needed. I was like Monk went off. Darren Fox has been the Aaron Fox has been pretty consistent this whole time. Uh, Even though I feel like like even though he hit a couple big shots in this game, I do feel like like ever since he messed up his finger that some of his shots have been off. Um, but he was more aggressive this game. Monk was aggressive as well. I was like he going to attacking the basket, shooting jump shot. There was no hesitation in his game at all from either of those aspects, and I think the mixture of them two, and then and Harrison Barnes. I was like, it seemed like that a couple games ago. Ever since they sort of got him going in the post, he's sort of been a little bit better of uh, with shooting and just taking more shots at the basket. And I think everybody has sort of just I was like, I don't know what it is, but I was like, this game they were just more into it. They were just more a lot. They were not trying to be stopped to the point that towards the end of the game, even though the game is sort of like it's still there, but you can see it getting out of hand. Then Herter started making shots to where he was actually comfortable making shots. Like he took a shot, went in. Then he was like, then after that he took two more shots, and I feel like that's dangerous for the next game. Now that Herter is like he was struggling the whole time, and now he had like, oh, a shot went in. Wait, now another shot went in, and then he had one where he just pulled up like how he normally does. He would stand still, and that one went in, and I'm like, oh, because I always felt that if the Kings are at full strength, they can overtake the Warriors at their full strength. I just felt like a lot of time they were missing shots, and a lot of their air experience was kicking in, especially towards the end of the game. And today they wasn't allowing that to happen. And I also feel like I feel like while they can shoot threes and they can mash threes with Golden State, I feel like they're a lot more stronger going towards the basket. Their players are a lot better at going inside and scoring. And I'm like, that's how they get the rhythm. They get them in the foul trouble. They get them off their game because, like Looney isn't a shot blocker. Like Draymond, while he can block shots, isn't like that. They're more so just like, big guy to sort of just like keep you out the paint. But you got too many dudes that are way too good at shooting and also going to the basket that I feel like that's where I feel like y'all have always had the advantage. Not only against their short big man, but the fact that y'all are so good around the basket. And with Monk and Fox, and then and throwing in Davis, I was like, hell, even Trey Lyles went to the basket a couple times. I was like Barnes can still get up there and like there's no like I'm like their team is a lot better than that than the Warriors because it's really I was like Wiggins is really the only guy that can go inside and bump in and take contact. I was like everybody else is like has a more finesse way to do it, while the Kings will take the punishment and do it. So we're going to a game 7, and there's no idea of who's going to win this game 7, not at all. This could be really up in the air. I was like each one has stole one on the road, so it's and I was like, I mean, you could say maybe Golden State because they have horrible trips on the road, maybe, but if the Kings are going to get all their guys going, I was like, I guess I might lean towards them just based off this game, unless Curry has one of those superstar moments. That's the only way I could think that Golden State really get out of this one more so, beating the squad versus And I was like, hey, the way like Jimmy Bucket's been, and maybe he could match that in there. And then speaking of how, and then going to this next game, how LeBron was the last couple games, but in this game, yeah, this game just I was like it just seemed like with every quarter, it was just getting more and more out of hand. It just seemed that the Lakers came in and they were like, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. Y'all got us lacking the last game. We are not putting up with that. It was like immediate, like you just felt like it just all clicked for everybody. From LeBron and him coming out aggressive and running the floor, and Anthony Davis blocking everything in sight, grabbing every rebound. And to be honest, I really think it really starts with AD, because I feel like if he is coming out and he has the intensity and he has like he doesn't even have to he wasn't even scoring a lot at the very beginning. It was just he was just around the ball at the rim to where it's like, hey, y'all ain't coming in. You better take them jump shots. And guess what? They wasn't hitting none of them jump shots either. And so if they're not hitting their jump shots while they also ain't able to get to the basket, it's a long night for the Grizzlies, and the Lakers really made it seem that way. Shout out to D'Angelo Russell. Finally, it clicked in where I was like, I've been trying to be like, I know he has the potential to score like this. Where is it? Where is it? If I feel like your potential is to do this well, then and you don't show it to me, then I'm going to say something where I'm like his past couple games he's been struggling shooting, but I was like he was also just doing like horrible. It was horrible turnovers, and it just felt like he was just not playing in rhythm. And in this game, he was playing in rhythm where it was his jump shooting. He was getting them all in the foul trouble, which I feel like he could do that because he had a slow, methodical pace that he can lull you to sleep, and then he'll just do enough bursts, and the next thing you know, you don't reach in. And that's really, I felt like how he really just started going, where he was having a good pace, and his shooting was on. And if you get that D'Angelo Russell with Anthony Davis, who after a while he was up here on defense and he was grabbing every rebound. Then he started clicking in on offense where he would just put back. There was that dope catch when D'Angelo threw the lob and he was able to fall out and snatch it up, because he does got like one of those like go gadget like arms and jumping ability that not too many people have with that like length and size, which is sort of like you sort of forget with Anthony Davis. Um, yeah, I was like LeBron over here doing like a reverse dunk. Uh, yeah, no, everybody was so on point, and it's funny like on the Grizzlies side, it just they were just missing shots. I was like, they would keep it Darren Jackson from scoring. Dylan Brooks was actually doing all right scoring for a minute. Um, I was like, they were really doing a good job of containing Ja early on. And then sort of once they hit that funk where I was like, I forget but they was only like it was like they were just missing jump shots, they were just missing threes, and at that point, I was like the hustle and the like how the energy that the Lakers were just playing with, they were just too much on at this moment for the Grizzlies to really come back, and it felt like it's like like now the game's over. We can't. There's nothing we can do. Also, shout out to first of all, they put in the second unit, and I was like, Lonnie Walker came out, hit like two threes, like three threes, like a couple of buckets. And I was just like, yo, especially when D'Angelo was playing like poo. I was like, yo, give Lonnie Walker some run. I was like, he can make some baskets, he can make some runs, and then especially like I know you try to throw. I was like, just because I was like, I feel like I was like, not that he's Reed, but I was like, their game is similar, and I'm like, Malik Beasley ain't hitting shots. He wasn't hitting shots when they put it in the second unit. And I'm just like, yo, I was like, play Lonnie Walker at this point. I was like, dude could get buckets. I feel like he could run the floor. I'm like, just and then maybe in the next matchup he'll get a little bit more around with that. But yeah, no, but yeah, I was like that series wasn't as great, and I was like, I don't know I was like, and I thought it would be, but it was still pretty good, even though Ja had a hand, but that didn't stop Ja from scoring. That didn't stop Ja from going to the basket or shooting. I was like, so it just really all just ain't click after a while, and I was like, but it was still a pretty good series. Anyway, if you like anything here in this little recap, thanks. I appreciate it. If not, hey, maybe next time or another video. But until then, peace. I'm out.